Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Chapter 8 of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets titled The Deathday Party. So we start off with Harry lamenting Wood's training methods, having them train in the rain, and, kind of worrying about the Slytherin team with their 7 new Nimbus 2001s. So we're also seeing some kind of signs that if you read it back, you're like, oh, yeah, Ginny is kind of suspicious. Like, it states that she's been looking paler and paler, and that Percy thought that it was just the cold, so he bullied her into taking a pepper up potion. But in actuality, it's because the diary's getting to her. I guess she's missing some memories and shit. Now, Harry tracks in some mud, and he meets with Nearly Headless Nick. And Nearly Headless Nick is complaining about not being able to join the Headless Hunt because he's only nearly headless, not headless. And here's the thing. I like to imagine that the first time he applied, the rejection was nice enough, but he died in 1492, and I imagine he's been applying every year since then, so now they're just making fun of him like, dude, we were nice like the first 10 times we had to reject you, but at this point, just stop, dude. Like, I like to imagine they were nice to him at first, like, they were sympathetic, like, he did kind of get the shit out of the stick, he got the bad part. So they were probably nice to him, but a couple centuries later, they're like, man, fuck this guy. This guy needs to give it a break. So, and also, he's got to know that the answer is not going to change. So at this point, he's just setting himself up for failure and shit. And it's just like, does he enjoy reading that? The failure, like, or is he just like so naive, like, one of these days, this'll be the one. Is that like the reason Nick can't move on? It's because he's not headless? And if so, is there a way to, make him headless? Is that how the ghosts in Harry Potter work? Like, they can move on if something happens? Like, if someone were to finally behead Nick, could he move on or something? I don't know. Or if he accepts that he's not ever gonna be headless, he can move on? I don't know. We have a run-in with Filch. And Harry proceeds to commit a felony by reading Filch's mail. Buddy, no. Filch is a dick, but you can't read his mail. And anyway, it's quickie spell. It's basically some obviously not real fake thing scam, which Filch is trying to, learn magic. And side note again, Filch is a squib, and what kind of self-hatred and self-loathing does Filch have to go to get a job at a magic school? Something that he can never do. I don't know, it doesn't make sense. There's gotta be some... At this point, being a janitor at a regular Muggle school would be better for Filch, because at least everybody there is the same type of miserable as him. Well, maybe not same type of miserable, you get my point. And also, he brings up a good point, Harry says it's only a little mud, and Filch says, that's an extra hour of scrubbing for me. A little mud for you, an extra hour of scrubbing for me. Why is the caretaker a squib? Don't we later find out in, book 4 that they have house elves? Is Dumbledore secretly a squib hater, in that he's employing this man just for the shits and giggles? Is the caretaker always a squib? No, I don't know. I don't think it's always been a squib, but no, is Dumbledore secretly a squib hater? Is he just enjoying watching Filch suffer? Ah, August, how are you? Ah, Dumbledore, I've spent 12 hours cleaning this one spot. Ah, 12 hours? That one spot? Ah, if only you had magic, you could have done that in just a flick of a wand. Oh well, anyway, have a nice day, Argus. That's the headcanon. Dumbledore's secretly a squib hater. The reason he gave Arabella Fig the posting to watch over Harry is not because she's a squib and can blend in. It's because he wants her as far away from him as possible. And that's about as. And he knows he's never going to return to River Drive. Well, that's that. That's another squib out of my way. Anyway. So, Nick creates a diversion and kind of guilts Harry into coming to his Deathday Party. And it's just... I feel like these books don't put enough importance into the fact that Halloween is the day that Harry's parents died. I'm also shocked, like, it's not a national holiday, like, Whippy, the day Voldemort died or some shit. Or some type of Memorial Day, like, not just for James and Lily, but, or the death of Voldemort, but, all the people that died in, like, what was it, 12-year reign of terror? I don't know. Anyway, so they go, and it sucks because it's cold because all the ghosts there. All the food is rotted because they can't eat. And side note, they ask him, does the pungent food make you, taste it? Almost. How do you almost taste something? Like, do you have to delude yourself into really thinking you could taste it, and even then you're like, nah, it's not the same. If so, just not have the food there. That just, man, everything we learn about ghosts just makes me think it sucks. It'd suck to be a ghost. I don't want to be a ghost. Anyway, we're introduced to Moaning Myrtle, and Peeves, just a shit stir. He hears Hermione insulting Moaning Myrtle, and he's like, oh, Moaning Myrtle, over here, they're talking about you. And then Hermione tries to cover herself, but of course, by, complimenting her, but Moaning Myrtle doesn't believe it, so she starts insulting herself, and then Peeves like, you forgot Pimply. Pimply. And eventually, then the Headless Hunt comes in and kind of makes asses of themselves, and it's like, by, starting a game of headless hockey or whatever, in the middle of Nick's speech, which is a dick move, but kind of makes me really cement the headcanon that the Headless Hunt absolutely hates Nick due to the fact that he's been non-stop bombarding them with admissions in the Headless Hunt, despite them giving them like 1,000 denials. Yeah. Anyway, so at this point, they decide to nope out, hoping to catch the tail end of the feast, which is just like, why couldn't they go to the feast first, then come down? Like, eat a little bit of food, then come down. I don't think Nick would have gotten too offended. Hell, I don't even think they didn't even seem to be there that long anyways. So they eventually get sidetracked because Harry hears the voice, rip, tear, kill, I smell blood, I smell blood. Anyway, so he ends up running towards the voice, which is just like, Harry is not surviving a horror movie. He hears a creepy voice saying, rip, tear, kill, I smell blood, and doesn't run away from the voice. Nah, if I hear that voice, I'm hauling ass in the complete other direction, and you better start running with me. Anyway. Of course, they get there, and they find Miss Norris hanging upside down, petrified, or maybe dead, and what seems to be like blood on the wall, which says, enemies of the air, beware. The Chamber of Secrets is open, or whatever. And Harry says, should we do something to help? Which, shows, Harry is a really caring person, but Ron is very pragmatic, and, we need to listen to Ron more. He says, absolutely not. We do not want to be caught here. And, of course, they're caught there. And Draco Malfoy looks at this, and with his full chest, for everyone in God to hear, says, enemies of the air, beware, your next mudbloods or what? Or something like that. And I'm just like, what? Draco Malfoy, I understand why they suspect Malfoy, because either he's stupid, which he is, apparently, or he knows something's up, or he knows something that everybody doesn't, because those are the only two ways you'd full chest say that with everybody around and teachers coming up. I can't remember if Draco Malfoy gets in trouble, but I doubt it. So I understand why this chapter was kind of left out of the movie, because it's kind of boring. And the only thing I found entertaining about it was the ending with Miss Norris. So with that in mind, I'm going to give this chapter a 5 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.